crafters, thanks for joining me here in the attic. So pull up a chair, grab your favorite beverage, and we'll get to crafting and memory keeping. Welcome back to the final day of Fairy Wings and Forgotten Things. This has been a great magical fairy collaboration I have been hosting over in my Facebook group. The link is down in the description box. Even if you're catching this later after this collaboration is over, I encourage you to come join my Facebook group. The albums will still be up where everybody has posted their projects for this collaboration, and there is some great inspiration in those albums. But for the final day, be sure to go over and check out Emily Designs. She is your last official fairy guide for this collaboration. She will have your final fairy token and your final prompt for this collaboration. For Professor Fernscribe, she will be venturing into the world of the Summer Fae to find the fairy door. For the fairy door is something that opens. So let's get to crafting and create our final adventure for Professor Fernscribe. For the final day, I wanted to create something that kind of would house some leftover tags and things that I had. So I've cut out some circles and then cut out a second one to make a pocket. So I'm going to be attaching, I did it in a couple of different sizes. I'm going to be attaching these to my page to be able to tuck other ephemera down in those pockets. I did a little circle here that I want to do as a corner tuck, and I've got a little fairy door charm here that I'm going to put here for my fairy door, and I want to create a cluster here for my Summer Fae label. The kit I'm actually using two kits today. I'm using Kim's kit from It's a Crafty Life, her Sunflower Fairy kit, and my kit that's in my Ko-fi shop called Fairyland to create this spread here. And I want to go ahead and ink up my circles so I can start putting those together. I'm just going to use the vintage photo ink today because both of these kits had a lot of color in them. I didn't want to take away from that. I wanted to allow that color to show through more. It's a little bittersweet. Today is the final adventure for Professor Fernscribe. She will be coming back tomorrow to give you a final look at her completed journal for all her adventures through the worlds of the Fae and give you her final reflections on that adventure. So I hope you'll join me for that. Make sure you're going over to the Facebook groups and social media of all the fairy guys, grabbing those final freebies that we had. If you didn't get to play along, you can always play along later. I'm going to go ahead and ink this card up while I got my ink out. You can always come back and follow this collaboration at your own pace. It's never too late to do collaborations other than for the giveaway part. But it's always fun to come back and do collaborations that you missed and just follow them at your own journey. Let's grab our daily numbers here. And stamp our final day of day 30. let's go ahead and start putting these pockets together, and then we'll get them glued down on our page. Just go around the very base of your pocket here, and then line that up with your circle. If you've got a direction on your bottom circle, make sure you're getting that lined up well. If you followed along with the collaboration, let me know down in the comments, what was your favorite fairy world? I want to thank all my fairy guides that helped out with this collaboration. I'm going to just be attaching these while we talk here. We had one that ended up not being able to join us, but hopefully she will be back to crafting very soon. We had 6 designers, myself and 5 others, that created beautiful kits for this collaboration. I appreciate all the hard work they put into all those. And they were so generous with the freebies for everyone. Do have another collaboration coming up of the spooky variety. If you haven't seen that yet, go over and check out that intro video for October Oddities that I am co-hosting with Stacy at Crafty Dragon Creations. I'll have all the information in that intro video where you can find her Facebook group, because there's going to be prizes at the end of the month for that also. It will be a fairly easy collaboration, I think, to follow, even though it's a countdown to Halloween through the month of October. I don't think you'll have trouble following along with that one. I want to go ahead and attach my fairy door here with the glossy accents so it can be drying. Get that straight there. And let's work on our cluster here. I fussy cut out of one of the pages that said Fairyland. I'm going to attach that along with, grab some of this yarn I had, like that. And I've also got some sunflower stickers that I'm going to be putting here, I think, with this cluster. I think I want to build out the cluster with the sunflower stickers possibly being part of the base. Just see how I want to do that. And then I can come back with some smaller ones, like this one here. Like that. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. And then I may add some more sunflower stickers around my page to kind of tie it all together. Let's get this down. I'm going to try to just use some of my Barely Arts glue there. Hopefully that'll stay. And get our final label on. Let's see what we might want to do with these stickers. I think I'm going to add some around the fairy door. Maybe right here. And I think that's all I want to do there. Alright, for our final day, let's see what Professor Fernscribe has to tell us today. Day 30, World of the Summer Fae, the Fairy Door. Environmental notes: endless sunlit glades filled with golden light and warm breezes. Air rich with pollen, birdsong constant beneath clear sky. Cultural observations: the summer fae are radiant, garland-crowned wings shimmering with sunlight. Their merriment masks solemn duty. They keep the doors that bridge fairy and mortal worlds. Artifact notes: the fairy door is a small arch of carved wood inlaid with gold vines. Placed upon any wall, stone, or tree, it opens not physically, but symbolically, a threshold to memory, dream, or return. Hypothesis: final key of transition between journeys. Narrative encounter: at the heart of the sunlit meadow, the summer fae encircled me, wings ablaze with light. One bent and drew from the earth a tiny door, no taller than my hand, radiant with warmth. They pressed it into my keeping, whispering, "Every journey must open, and every journey must close." Studying it later, I saw beyond its shimmer the faces of every fae I had met. It was not merely a door, but the end of one story and the opening of another. And with that, that ends day 30 of Fairy Wings and Forgotten Things. Our final journey will be tomorrow when Professor Fernscribe comes back and gives us her reflections of this magical journey. So, as she bids farewell to the Fae world, I want to thank y'all again for joining me along with this collaboration. And please come back tomorrow as you hear Professor Fernscribe's final reflection. So until I see y'all again here in the attic, y'all take care.